Okay, this is the Seattle Seahawks logo, and this is a bizarre topic, but it came up because Edgar, who is a former police lieutenant in New York City, the Bronx, Edgar Martinez asked me if I've got contracts with evil enterprises, um, is it a crime for me to break my contracts with these ones? Yes, according to common law, if you have got a contract to do an illegal thing, the contract is invalid. It cannot be enforced in a court of law. Then Edgar says, well, maybe they're going to get a hitman to enforce it. It doesn't mean the contract is valid. It means they are a criminal enterprise and they are using brutality to enforce their criminal natures. So if you have a contract with a criminal corporation, as in an employment contract, is the contract invalid? I'm no lawyer, but I'm going to tell you, if your contract is with a corporation that has been convicted of criminal activity, in other words, racketeering, I would say if you wanted to leave and they said you can't leave because we got an employment contract, I would say go see a lawyer. I'm pretty sure the lawyer would say you tell them that this is the corporation and they're criminal. I don't want to be part of it and I want an out. I'm pretty sure the lawyer is going to say, well, you got a good case. I mean, what is the criminal corporation going to do? Take you to a court of law and say, we have a long-term contract for this person's employment? Are the judges corrupt? How deep does the rot go? I'm not saying the judges are corrupt. I'm just saying they might be. Edgar Martinez likes to breathe heavy. Why? I don't know why. It's sort of his telltale sign. I know when he's around because he breathes very heavy. Heavy breathing. Why am I talking so much about criminal corporations? Well, in Canada we had the Bombardier scandal that still hasn't brought down the Justin Trudeau government, but perhaps it will in the election that was declared yesterday. You can look up the Bombardier scandal. I'm sure it's all over the news. You can look it up on Wikipedia. But is Bombardier a criminal organization? It's very nebulous. Why? Because we don't seem to be hearing too much about prosecutions by the police. Are the police corrupt? Justin Trudeau, the Prime Minister, was on the news yesterday and he said, we released a lot of documentation to the RCMP, the Royal Canadian Mounted Police. Cabinet documents. But he didn't say he released all of the documents. So what's the real state of the nature of the Canadian government? Apparently the politicians are above the RCMP on the pecking order, and they can decide what the RCMP can investigate and what they can't. This is a conflict of interest. In the United States, they deal with this by appointing a special prosecutor who is paid by the Department of Justice, but is somewhat independent. Although when we saw this happen with Donald Trump, are we really satisfied with this kind of investigation? I'm not. I don't think it's very good at all. In the end, it was a whitewash. Donald Trump said there was no collusion with Russia. What do you think? I don't know. I'm just bringing it up to your attention. How deep does the rot go? What about the QAnon phenomenon? They say it's related to Donald Trump somehow. Draining the swamp. I don't know. I watched Lester Holt's news yesterday. I didn't see nothing about QAnon on that channel. They got rid of another national security advisor, John Bolton. Trump goes through an unbelievable number of people. I mean, it seems like the only words he knows are, "you're fired." Why doesn't he hire decent people from the first place? Why does he go through so many shitty people? Is he a shitty president because he can't seem to hire decent people from the get-go? Or he just wants to keep trying them out? And when they don't meet his expectations, then he gets intense glee at saying, "You're fired." Is Donald Trump an egomaniac, narcissistic, or is he QAnon and he's working to an agenda to drain the swamp? By your vibes, you'll know them. By your actions, you'll know them, won't you? What vibes do I get from Donald Trump? I think he does a lot of cocaine. He's always going... And even the mainstream media say that he constantly lies. I don't know how many lies he's told since he was president, but he lies. So, I know, is he really a man you trust? The alternative is, some Democrat. Do you trust them? How deep does the rot go? Is the rot on both sides of the aisle in Congress? I'm not an American. I'm kind of disinterested. I don't get to vote in American elections, but it's always covered on international news. I think it was a really big deal for the rest of the world.
Hello, I'm Yoshi the Dragon. I don't have my Yoshi hat on right now. Well, if I was someone who's interested in politics, I'd be looking into the scandal of Boris. You know, the British Prime Minister, the Brexit guy with the funny yellow hair. What's up with Boris? It sounds like a Russian name to me. Why is the Prime Minister of Britain got a Russian name? Boris. Remember there was Boris Yeltsin in the Russian Federation? Boris Yeltsin. Now we've got a Boris running England. It sounds weird. It's not an English name, Boris. It might be boring to us, but Boris is a Russian name. So you got a Russian guy running Great Britain. What happened to good old-fashioned English names like Charlie or Sam? Yoshi is a Japanese word. Gotta go.
Okay, I got my Harley Davidson hat on. Everyone knows a Harley Davidson motorcycle is. Just got a bing on that one. Alright, what else do I want to talk about? Bloody hell, I'm going to talk about peyote. You heard of those peyote cactuses? Someone gave me a bing. That's a peyote and the sago cactus. Now the peyote is a little tiny button. It's a little tiny one, about like this big. And if you eat a bunch of them, you go on a psychedelic journey, apparently, according to reports. I don't live in Arizona. I did stop in Phoenix, Arizona. I had a stopover. But I didn't spend any time in Arizona in the desert, so now I don't even know if Arizona's got peyote in the desert there. But they got cactus. You want to eat some cactus and go on a trip?
Oh, Yoshi the Dragon. You don't like to go on trips. You don't like it. You're stupid. Don't go on psychedelic trips because you don't know where the hell you're gonna go. And you don't know how the hell you're gonna get back.
Alright, this is TJ. TJ was a fella that I used to work with a long time ago. I don't know what to tell you about TJ. Thomas John, maybe that was his name. Didn't want anyone to know his real name. My real name is not Fisherwavy, it's Isherwood. I'm just a guy on the street with my hat on backwards. Is my head on backwards too? Look at I getting all these strange lights all over. Some of these people think that those lights are like a little orbs. They call these things an orb, and they think it's some paranormal thing. I think they're bloody stupid. This is just a reflection of the light up there, off my screen. These bloody people are so stupid. Stupid gits, we call them. Gits, G-I-T, git, means stupid head. Oh, I'm putting on another black hat. I got lots of black hats and lots of these little things that I can shine at my eye. Look at that. Oh my God. It reminds me of Jean-Luc Picard. You know, he's coming back for another episode of Star Trek. But Jean-Luc Picard, he got taken over by the Borg and he had laser beams coming out of his eyes. I got a laser beam right in my eye. Isn't that incredible? That was pretty stupid. Alright, this book is called The Wheel of Time by Carlos Castaneda. It's not really a Castaneda book. It's more like a summary of excerpts of many of his other books. Is it worth having? Well, for me it is because I read the books and these are interesting excerpts. But if you haven't read Carlos Castaneda, you should. Some people like Dr. Ball. What the hell was his first name? I can't remember. It was Dr. Ball. Dr. Ball said, well, he took a lot of... now, cactus peyote's got mescaline in it. Mescaline, and a similar chemical to mescaline is serotonin, which is produced naturally in your brain. There's another drug that's on the market. It's called ayahuasca, and that's called dimethyltryptamine, or various chemical versions of dimethyltryptamine, and it's also a very close chemical substance to serotonin. What does it all mean? Well, if you take dimethyltryptamine, like Dr. Ball did many times, he has got a PhD in God knows what, but Dr. Ball says that Carlos Castaneda is a fraud. Dr. Ball doesn't like Carlos Castaneda, but you know, in the Castaneda books, I think they did take peyote and they also did magic mushrooms. But Dr. Ball did DMT, and he says, well, that's the real thing. All these other ones are nonsense. I said, Dr. Ball, you're a stupid bugger, a stupid git. I don't listen to Dr. Ball. You want to read good books. Good books. Interesting stories, interesting characters, unforgettable stories. Carlos Castaneda. As far as taking peyote is a good idea. Hell, I wouldn't take that bloody stuff. What are you, crazy? You gonna eat some damn thing that you found in the desert? How do you know that some dog didn't come along and take a shit on it? Something, you stupid people. What are you doing? Manifest destiny of something. What does that mean? That's the United States. Manifest destiny of, I don't know, some bloody thing they teach in European history about the United States. Manifest destiny. The Monroe Doctrine. You know, our way or the highway. Teddy Roosevelt. The Rough Riders. Speak softly and carry a big stick. Yankee imperialism. I'm Christopher Ishwood. Alright, this is the Osho Tarot deck. And I'm going to just hold this up to show you. Okay, I'm going to cut the cards. I cut them. Alright. The top card is Mind. Mind. Alright, so the card is Mind. This one. It's from the Osho Zen Tarot, okay? Osho Zen Tarot. Oh shit, I just lost it. I was looking up what it meant, and it means basically if someone that you know is having a head trip, is it you? If you're getting this card, Does it mean that me, Christopher Isherwood, have got a head trip? I don't think so. But Osho says basically if you're using your mind, you can't perceive reality clearly because mind is like a cloud around your head. It's around your head and it's giving you all kinds of filters to what's really going on. And your mind might be creating an ego for you. It's not your authentic being, it's an ego. Who else is stuck in mind? Alright, our next card here. Letting go. Alright, letting go. Letting go. So, what does it mean? Letting go is letting go of your bloody mind. How do you let go of your mind? We always tell you meditate a hell of a lot. Next card, last card, courage. Alright, the card is courage. Courage. Alright, how does it fit with these other two cards? Okay, you got a mind. You've been told you got to let go of your mind. How are you going to do it? You're going to have to use courage. You're going to have the courage to let go of the thing that has been running you your whole life, your monkey mind. Can you do it? Stay tuned to our channel. We got lots more for you. Make sure you start meditating.